Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I just want to add a disclaimer first that if you're not in the right headspace, please feel free to pause and watch this later when you have enough capacity or space to process, because this video is going to be talking about emotional trauma, healing, intergenerational stuff, and a little bit about sexual trauma. So, yeah. Welcome everyone. My name is Rafneet, and I've been quite emotional and all over the place lately. And part of this has to do with the divine feminine work that I'm doing with Cortney at Eris Witchcraft, and I am going to add her channel down below. But also because I saw a video from Pearl, I'll also add her channel down below, and she just put into words something that I was feeling very strongly in my body, but she just put words to it, and you know, that just, yeah. So I'm going to read something I wrote, and I wrote it because when your emotions are all over the place, I think it's better to, that's how I process. I put it on paper so that I can see exactly what's going on rather than going in spirals. And I'll read that to you here, and I might get emotional or not, but I really wanted to share some of the breakthroughs that I've been experiencing. I also want to say clearly, I'm not blaming anyone here. I am just stating the truth so that I can come to terms with what happened, and it's really about naming it so that I can get past it and live my life. Being on YouTube has also triggered quite a lot around what I'll be discussing here. I have received a lot of love, but then I also didn't realize I was still carrying a lot of the wounds, and I'm grateful that I'm able to see them so that I can finally process them and become more of myself. So I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. So I'm grateful. Because then, more of me. So, yeah, so I'll start. This is for you and for anyone carrying more than they should. You're not alone in this. We don't talk enough about what happens when we keep quiet. Not because it's complicated, but because it's not safer to speak. So we suppress, we internalize, we hold on to things that don't even belong to us. And over time, that weight gets heavier and heavier. I have been an overthinker and also a person who feels very deeply. I've always been like that. But it wasn't just me feeling everyone's emotions, but also my thoughts that spiraled all the time. I felt suffocated in my own mind. I began to believe that the world was not a safe place, that being too much would make me unlovable. So I learned to hide, to shrink, to make myself small so that I wouldn't be too much for the people around me. I began to believe that the world wasn't a safe place, that being too much would make me unlovable. For a long time, I stayed alone because being alone felt safer. I never really thought about having kids, never pictured a family like people of my age do. Maybe that's tied to everything I've been through. Maybe it's because I did not trust myself or the world enough to share my life with another person. And maybe it's because in the back of my mind, I felt that the love I had to give would always be in the danger of being hurt. So I shut off, protected myself from a world that just didn't feel right. There's something I need to name too. The pain we carry between women. And I think I'll share another video by Rachel and Carla last weekend, and that really made me see the wounds that I've also been carrying, right? The ways we are taught to compete instead of uplift, to keep our words of support inside because we think there's not enough space for all of us, to withhold compliments, to gossip, to make the other feel small, to judge, instead of just saying, I see you, I love you, you're doing amazing. I have been on both sides. I have been the one who withheld, the one who was left out. Because growing up, I thought there was only room for one of us to shine. That's what I was taught. But that is not the truth. We can all rise together, and there's enough space for everyone. We can all be seen and celebrated. There's enough space for us to heal and grow side by side. So if you have been hurt by women, by sisters, if you have been judged or left out or made to feel like your shine was too much, I see you. That pain is real. But it does not define us. We can rewrite the story. We can rewrite how we show up for each other. For a long time, I carried anger in my heart towards men. I felt betrayed by the very people I thought I should be able to trust. I was sexually harassed by the people in my surroundings, men and women. That made me close off, hide parts of myself, and create walls around my heart. But then something changed. I met my best friend. He's a man, and he showed me what real masculinity looks like. It's not forceful, it's attentive. It's not controlling, it's freeing. And through his presence, I started to see that not all men are the same. Not all of them want to hurt, control, or take. Some of them truly want to support, to uplift, and they care. He played a huge role in me coming out of darkness, of what I had been through, and I'm grateful for that. I've had to let go of a lot to get here. I've had to release the old narratives about who I was supposed to be, about what I owed other people. I had to let go of toxic environments, unhealthy relationships, and any situation that did not align with me, and I'm a work in progress. I chose peace even when it meant being alone, even when it meant shedding old patterns of being that no longer served me. And yes, trust me, I know it hurts. Healing is uncomfortable. It's messy, but it's necessary. There's a saying from Gurbani that stays with me. The translation is, the bad company leaves a residue on the soul, but when you return to truth, it clears. That's what I've been doing, clearing out the residue. That's what healing is, and I've seen that. Being around people who are out of alignment, who lie to themselves, who manipulate, it wears you down. You start to question your own sensitivity, your own intuition, your own being. You start to think, maybe it's me, but it's not you. Being able to see through the noise is not a flaw. It's a superpower. Being sensitive is a superpower. It's awareness. Gurbani also talks about these people, someone who follows only the mind, their ego. It says that the self-willed, the terminology is manmuk, they stay lost in confusion. That was the energy I grew up in. Disconnection, denial, people more invested in appearing right than being honest. And I internalized that. Thought it was my job to fix it all. But shame, that didn't start in me. It was passed down, unspoken, quiet, but constant. Shame makes you feel like you have to earn your place. Like love and freedom can't coexist. Like being yourself is too much. But here's what I've learned. Shame is not truth. Shame is pain that no one knew how to hold. Shame is what happens when no one says it's okay to feel what you're feeling. So, we take the blame. We learn to self-abandon just to stay safe. But taking accountability is not the same as taking on everyone's pain. We can acknowledge our impact without drowning in guilt or shame. We can evolve without needing others to clap for us. You don't have to be understood to be real. You don't need to be forgiven to be free. Healing is not about control. It's about honesty. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It hurts. It really hurts. But pain is not punishment. It's part of the process. You're not doing anything wrong. It's about letting go of what doesn't belong to you, what isn't yours to carry anymore. And part of this healing process has been acknowledging my history, the sexual trauma I carry in my body. For a long time, that part of me felt like a secret I couldn't speak about. It made intimacy, love, and connection feel dangerous. I didn't avoid love because I didn't want it. I avoided it because it did not feel safe. And for years, I kept myself distanced, thinking that the more I withdrew, the less I'd risk being hurt. But now I know that isolation was not weakness, it was survival. And I don't need to apologize for keeping myself safe when others around me couldn't do that. And my child brain could do what it did. But I am giving myself permission now to heal, to soften, and to trust again. That's strength. I want to remind you and myself as well that healing is not just about the hard, deep, and dark parts of our journey. Yes, it's real, it's necessary, but it's not all there is. I also want to share with you the fun and lightness I bring to my life. Healing does not mean I'm always serious. I love to laugh. I bring joy and laughter into my life because we deserve to celebrate, to feel joy, to create, to do the things that make us feel alive, right? That's how we heal. So we are not just a product of our pain. We are multidimensional, complex beings with room to both heal and thrive. Yes, thrive. And I see those perks in some moments here and there. So I know, yes, we can thrive, and I'm sure you have too. So if you're in that space right now, if you're crying or you're remembering or you're healing or in denial, right? Please know that is progress. That is your body reclaiming its truth. You're not what happened to you. You're not the person you become to survive. You're allowed to grow, to forgive yourself, and to start fresh. Yes, forgiving yourself. You don't need anybody's forgiveness. You're allowed to heal at your own pace, in your own way. And no, it's not linear, but it's real. Gurbani says, the translation is that in the company of truth, we began to bloom. So here I am, choosing truth. Choosing peace, choosing to rise, choosing to make the choices that makes me closer to the purpose that I'm choosing. Choosing to rise, not in spite of everything I've been through, but because of it. You're worthy of the future you want. You are. And I see you. It's not someday, right now. And you're not alone. So, with that, I'll end, and I will ask, did this resonate with you? And if it did, thank you for listening. And if it did not, it's okay. I hope it helped you feel more to speak yours. And I am so glad to be spending time with you here. Thank you very much. And I'll see you again. Goodbye.